Hello guys, it's your boy Kape. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. And long time since I've talked to my boy Steph. Steph, what are you telling them, man?
Man, we just here cooling, just here ready to start next season. Ready to
Hey
start
man,
next season.
how's the summer been going? Obviously, a little break from not break from making content, but break from Arsenal, I should say. Are you ready? Are
Yeah,
you back ready for
yeah.
a
I feel
stressful
I feel ready to get back the nerves. I miss the nerves. I miss the
yeah,
nerves of a Saturday midweek games. I miss them.
midweek games? Obviously, 2 more days to the Wolves game, but obviously this video, I just wanted to touch on a few things. So we're just going to give a few points, a few takes from preseason. We'll give our Arsenal predictions for the season, and then we'll just have a little preview on the Wolves game. So, Steph, yeah, I'll start with you. So we're gonna do 2 takes each. So 2 takes from this preseason. So I'll start with you. What's your first take? Anything. It could be anything from this preseason so far. Would
Um, the first take, because everyone has been talking about striker, do not doubt Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. To be honest, one of the key things I'm happy to see in the squad is the continuity within Havertz, and hopefully he keeps that number 9 position, because at the back end of last season, people do not underestimate the massive amounts of goals Kai Havertz was putting in the back of last season, scoring massive goals and stepping up with goals and assists. He looked like he found his final position under Mikel Arteta. And with Gabriel Jesus looking fit, looking stronger in preseason, we saw him come back, to be honest, to me, with a little bit more muscle, a little bit more defined. It looks like Jesus is ready to not only keep the competition going within that number 9 position, but prove to Arteta where we bought him for 50 something odd million, 2 years ago now. So I think, do not doubt. I know everyone wants a striker, everyone wants Ozyman, or everyone wants this gunman who we think we're gonna get. But we have 2 guys who have proven over the time, in their time at Arsenal, that they can score goals. People say Jesus doesn't score goals, but the record shows otherwise. The other thing I like to touch on is the youngsters. I cannot wait to see Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri, 2 young, brilliant talents we've seen budding through the youth academy system for years now. And at 17 years old, breaking through this Arsenal squad is no joke. You have to be really, really good to get into the first team. And we've seen it. Grown men can't even get into this first team. You know what I mean? So for them, first of all, to even get in and around the first team, congratulations to them. And I'm really excited to see. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans around the world are really excited to see what they can do this year.
Yeah, trust me. Um, um, I agree with you. I think Havertz looks very, very comfortable now in our team compared to like last season. Obviously, having a season full with these guys, and just looking, he looks, just his body language, everything about him looks like he understands the system, the role. And I think Mikel probably would use him in both, still left centre mid in some games, and probably number 9 predominantly. But I think he can get, in all competitions, 20 goals, 10 assists. He's a good player, man. He gets in
Didn't
anything.
he get like 13 in all comps, and he was starting? He didn't really grow into that role until like January, to be
At the
honest.
end.
So
So it'll be calm.
we'll
And
see.
obviously, yeah, the youngsters, obviously, you already know about Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri, Aiden Heaven and Josh Nichols. Obviously, I don't know how much they'll get, but they look very clean. But I hope them 2 are definitely part of our setup this season. My 2 takes. First one, I would say the left-hand side looks way better than how it looked in last season. Just the whole dynamics that we seem to attack more in a lot of preseason. I feel like we seem to attack more down the left-hand side. Declan Rice in that game against against Leon, was underlapping a lot, was taking up wide positions to allow Martinelli to go inside. Obviously, Zinchenko, probably because Timber's not been fit and Calafiori hasn't had enough time to come to the team. Obviously, he's been playing a lot of games, but he looks like in that half space, he's really conducting things, getting those crosses in from that half space as well, and just linking up the play. And obviously in build up, it seems like the left back seems to go in between the centre backs when we build up. Something different. They don't just invert straight away. And Gabriel gets pushed out wider. I guess that's to kind of remove the defensive frailties of Zinchenko out wide, but also to allow him to kind of dictate play from the middle. So it's been interesting. Obviously, you kind of see if Marino does get signed, how he'll be used, because Declan Rice was making a lot of underlapping runs in that game against Leon. So imagine you have more of a natural left footer that makes those runs and can just get nice balls into the box. So that's one take. And my second take, I think we're gonna win the league. I think I was just looking at obviously I went to the Leverkusen games. I watched that. Our out of possession shape is nuts, bro. Like the way we defend, it's actually scary. Like forget the tackle, forget all this stuff. Like teams I'm not going to struggle to score goals against us this season. Like, we win the ball back when we get into our set shape. It's hard, like there's a spare 6'4" guys just in the defense and midfield. It's just hard, but it just looks nice. Like, we look hungry, we look happy, we look ready. Like, that's what I would say. So I feel like the players look ready, and I'm ready for the season still. So I'm excited. I feel like it's a good preseason. What do you think? Good preseason?
I agree with most of what you said, and especially want to touch first of all on the left-hand side. I think why we didn't really see too much of the right-hand side flourishing is because I think we missed our chance creator, Bukayo Saka. And I think people have to start putting respect on his name. When he's not in the squad, you see really different how much of a difference it is. Fabio Vieira is a good player, but he's not Saka who could cut down the right wing, whipping across no matter what, and it's going to be a goal or a really good chance. So I think that right-hand side will always have its continuity with the three guys we have over there in Odegaard, Saka, and Ben White. But like you said, the left-hand side was a key figure we needed to sort out for about 2 years now, really. Since granted Xhaka was a little bit phased up. Well, he left the squad, not really phased up, but he left the squad.
Yeah.
But really, like you said, win the league. Like you said, a video is coming up on my channel soon enough about the way we press and the way we defend it off the ball. And everything you said there, KP, is very, very true to exactly how we defend. Tall guys, which is why we brought in Calafiori. But when we press in the first phase with the first initial 5, and then they give away the ball, imagine Calafiori running in, a 6'4" guy who's 200 whatever pounds running down in behind you, or you get past him, or you have Gabriel Saliba back there, or don't worry, you have Ben White back there. Like, it's crazy. So I can't wait till the season.
I actually
starts.
can't wait still, man. Like,
I can't wait.
I'm excited. Like, I think I've missed Arsenal. I think I allowed myself to kind of detach. Obviously, all the transfers you get back in, but let's hope we start off well this season on Saturday. So just moving on, Steph, we'll go to our Arsenal prediction. So just in this section, obviously, I'm just going to ask you, we'll keep it specifically Arsenal. Where do you think Arsenal finish in the Premier League?
Oh, first, I think this year we're going to win the league, but I say that not as confident as you, just due to the fact that Man City, the juggernaut, still stand in our way, to be honest, and it's going to take literally a Herculean effort to beat Manchester City. Now, I know they're going through a lot with the court case, and to be honest, that could probably be something that throws them off in the league, but we still have Liverpool to look at. Now, I'm not watching them, but there's still competition in the league, and it's still a very competitive league. You can drop points to anyone, and as we've seen last season, you could drop points to anyone. So, to be honest, I think for me, we will win the league, but it's going to take literally every single person in this squad to help us do it.
Okay, so first, I'm also going to first. I'm an optimistic person anyways. Like, I feel like you got to speak.
You rubbed off on me.
So, but I also feel like just, third time lucky. Like, you failed twice, but we've been closer each time. City 5 in a row. Like, I'm not saying that it's not possible, because if any team could do it, and any manager, any group of players, is them. But to motivate yourself outside of, like, in terms of the mainstay players to go again, compared to the hunger of coming so close to the final day and trying to win, and making the improvements and knowing where you can go wrong. I just see us doing it, and I feel like those games like West Ham at home, Villa home and away, and Fulham, I think those are games that we rectify, we take personally, and try and get those points. So as long as we can do that, I think we can do well. So I feel like we need to go into every game expecting to win, trying to win, and I think we're going to do that. So I think first, where do you think Arsenal go up to in Champions League? Think we win it, or where do you think we would? How would you think we'll do in the Champions League?
Now, regardless of who's in our group, I would like to see us get out of the group. That's a given. And depending on how the draw falls,
remember the format is different this year.
Yes, I do remember the format is different.
Yeah.
Just for right now, I'd say quarterfinals, because that's what we got last year, and without seeing anything put into place, I don't want to push the boundaries and say, oh, we need to be getting semifinals, we need to be getting to no. Get to quarterfinals again, show that you're consistent at this level, show that you're consistently pushing to be within the top 8 of Europeans elite, because it's still going to be a tough feat to challenge City in the league, challenge in the Champions League, and challenge to win in the domestic cup. It's a lot to do in the league season, to be honest. So I understand that as well, and how that factors into it. So to be honest, I just go for right now quarterfinals. To be honest, I take it before the season starts.
Okay, quarterfinals, that's good. I think semi-finals. I think just like, I'm not saying there's preseason, but just looking at a Leverkusen game, imagine that's one of the teams that we could get in Champions League, for example. Like, I just think, like, Arsenal, the main thing Arsenal struggled against is mid blocks. I think that's something that obviously not having players like Fabio Vieira fit, Jesus fit at times, Partey, Timber, and amongst other maybe the new signs of Marino, that I think it hurts us when we face teams like Aston Villa and Bayern and Porto and those teams that like defend us, not low block but not high pressing us. So I think that's something that I think we're gonna really look into, and it's hard because when you come up to the semi-finals, you're facing the likes of Cities, Real Madrid's, Bayern's, not easy feat. But I think defensively, I think we're the best team in the world. So if that's a basis I'm going on, it's more okay. How does the midfield and the attack play in these big games? Maybe. And I'm just saying semi-final because we went to quarterfinals last year, first year being back in the Champions League. Obviously, none of these players have been experienced. Mikel too. So I think another year on, obviously different formats. So we have to see how we get out. But I think we should get through to the knockout stage and
and to be
semis
honest,
at least.
we weren't far away from being in the semis either. We were literally one goal out, and that was a ball. I won't call it a fluke goal, but at the same time, we were caught sleeping on one ball all game. That cost us the game. And I know that that's the fine margins that matter in top level football. But at the same time, if you look at it like that, first season back in the Champions League after so long with a young squad, I get into a quarterfinal. I could have been in the semis. You never know. I would like to see semis as well. I don't think it's too far.
But I think quarterfinals is like a safe, is like a minimum for me. Like if we get to the quarters and go out, I won't be angry. But like if we don't get to the quarters, then it's like, come on, Okay, cool. FA Cup competition. It's our competition, but last 3-4 years we've been getting, obviously not. I guess we've been facing the hard draws. We've had Liverpool last year, the season before Man City. But obviously we had that one against, was it Nottingham Forest or whatever that we lost? Yeah, so we've been coming out early in the FA Cup. What do you think?
Can I also make a petition too? Can we not wear the white kit? Yo,
we have to,
the white
man.
kit is cursed.
It's for a good
the white
cause,
kit is
man.
cursed. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. But the white kit has to be cursed. Have we won a game in it?
Yeah. Remember when we played? We played one team, like one low, like was it Newport
like
or something?
I think it was
and then I remember Fabio Vieira getting an assist for Eddie. Eddie
I think Eddie scored that game. I think Eddie did score
Martinelli
that game.
scored. Eddie scored 2 goals in that game.
Like, I remember us losing to Forest in that kit. I
that must have been like 2 years. That was 2 years ago.
I remember us losing bare games. It feels like in that kit.
We lost to Forest. I think the next year we beat Oxford or Newport, one of those teams, and then we faced City the next round and we lost that game, obviously 1-0. Then last year we faced Liverpool in that.
Now we lost to City in the FA Cup, and then I think we lost to Liverpool.
Did we wear that kit Liverpool at home? Yeah, we did. Yeah, cool. So yeah, what do you think FA Cup? What's your predictions? How do you?
This all goes back to, I guess, Mikel as well, because one thing I would say about the same thing I said about the Champions League, how serious does Mikel Arteta take the domestic trophies outside of the Premier League? Because, and like I said, it's going to be a very difficult task to push this Man City team 38 games long. Because you're going to have to win, 30 games? 30 games is a big ass. We won 28 last year, and that was no easy feat. That's the most in our club's history. 30 games is what we're looking to aim for. That's 90 points automatically. If we could aim for in and around there, it's going to take a Herculean effort. Is the squad that deep to stretch us 38 games plus a FA Cup run? We haven't seen it yet. I'll put my neck out on the line and I'll at least say we should be making to semifinals, because I think that's the standard I want to see Arsenal get to. I want to see us competing like a Man City on all levels, on all fronts. I went conservative with the Champions League pick, so I'm going to put my neck out on the line a little bit more and say semifinals for the FA Cup.
I'm going to say finals. I don't know if we're going to win it, because as I agree with you in terms of the squad, but I think this is like an opportunity to where like now you can actually start the likes of Wanyeri and Lewis Skelly and Aiden Heaven, Josh Nichols right back, Fabio Vieira get a clean start, whoever's like the backup winger. Like I think we should have a good enough squad that we can switch 11s and still, in the early rounds. But obviously also depends on the draw. So if you get something like a team like United last year had a lot easier, teams that are not in the Prem, apart from Liverpool in that run into the final. So it's like it all depends. But even if we have all Prem teams, I need us to try and take every trophy seriously, because at least it gives you an opportunity at the end of the season to, if the Prem's not going too well or Champions League, you still have other things you can fight for, and it can still be deemed a successful season. So I'm going to say final, and obviously depending on where we are in the Premier League and depending on who we play in the final, I'll guess I'll make my verdict at that time if we get there. Okay, cool. Carabao Cup.
I don't think we're gonna go far in that. I think Mikel is gonna probably bend it off. Listen, if we play a young squad and we just happen to find ourselves in the final, like what Liverpool did, or what Chelsea do, then I think we could go all the way and win it. But I'm not really putting too many expectations or too many stock into the Carabao Cup due to the fact in Mikel's history he's never really taken it seriously. So I guess I don't even know how to rank this one still.
I think we enter in the third round.
In the
I think
third round,
after that there's another game, which is fourth round. Then it's quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals.
semifinals is 2 legs, right?
Semifinals is 2 legs.
Final.
I'm gonna go with Arsenal winning the Carabao Cup.
Oh, you're confident. Look at this guy, yo.
It's not even a confidence. That's a bit of a different cup. I think we need to take it seriously. It's a cup that you win in, I think, was it February? Like, so there's not even really going to take out your title charge really. If we can get, obviously it's not easy. You end up playing City, you can play Liverpool, that you can be drawn against those teams, and that's a coin flip. But at the end of the day, we got to try and start winning trophies. We got to start trying these players winning things together and knowing that this is what we need to do. And obviously, I don't rate the Carabao Cup. It's still a trophy, and I would love to win it. I'm not going to be one of those guys that just dismisses it and don't care. I think to win a trophy in mid of the season can be that springboard of, okay, we want to fill this at the end of the season with the things that we really want. So I think, because I feel like our squad is good enough. Like last year, obviously, we're playing, and with injuries, it's like the second team wasn't that great, but with no injuries right now, obviously, fingers crossed it stays like that. I think the second team that we can play is quality, man. Like, why should we not be trying to win a trophy that 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have a League One or League Two or Championship team that goes a bit far? Like, come on, man.
My thing would be, for example, I know, like you said, you think the squad is good, but if we have another week where we had, I think it was Villa, Bayern. Who do we have that week? That week we're in the Champions League in the back end of last season. It was Bayern, Villa, Bayern again. I think that's how it went.
Yeah, but by that time the Carabao Cup is already done, though.
I know. But my question would be, if you find yourself, because we do have a tough fixture list to start the season, if you find yourself in a really tough fixture week to start the season, and you have a Carabao Cup mixed in between, let's just say we get an unlucky draw third round, Man City or Liverpool, how would you go full strength, knowing that you want to get that?
For me, obviously, you rest certain players, but the level of the squad should be good enough that if you rotate, the level shouldn't drop. I don't think Mikel goes out there and says to the players, "Oh, just play. If you don't win, don't win." Like, it doesn't give me that vibe of a manager. I think he wants to win every game. So sometimes it's just the quality. Like some of these teams, like for example, last year we played West Ham. They played predominantly their starting lineup. We played our second team. I don't even think we played that bad, but we just couldn't score, and then they scored the goals. Like, it's one of those ones. Like, so if you get more decisive players that are on your bench, you play them in these games, I don't think it should be a struggle. But yeah, I'm gonna go with winners. Cool. Your Arsenal top goal scorer this season. Someone like all competitions who ends up with the Saka. I'm going with. I'm gonna put my head on the line. I'm gonna go with Martinelli still.
Ooh, I like Martinelli. I went Saka because I know he's gonna take the penalties, and I know he's gonna be one of our main goal contributors. He's gonna be on the end of everything creative. So yeah, it'd be hard to go against the man who's been.
You're probably right, and I can't lie. I want to go Saka, but it's gonna be a bit different. Okay, top assists.
I'd go Saka again because I just think, like I said, he's gonna be a really high goal contributor guy. But I put a shout in for Odegaard because I think Odegaard is gonna have a lot of creative responsibility within this team. But I just think it might be Saka again. Saka to lead goals and assists.
Yeah, so I'm going to Saka as well for exactly the same reasons that you went for. I think he's just one of our most creative players. He gets assists for fun, and he's always in the double digits for assists. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, so who's your player of the season prediction?
If we win the league, I'll put it like this. If we win the league, it's probably going to be either Saka stepped up one more level and took us to over and beyond, and he's the reason why. Or it could be another example of why we have the best defensive structure in world football. So I'm looking at either potentially Saliba or Gabriel to either be one of those guys, or it's going to be Bukayo Saka. If I was to put a name on it, because they said he's going to lead in goals and assists this year, I'd say Bukayo Saka is our player of the year.
I think same again. I'm not just copying and reading off your hymn sheet, but bro, I'm copying you. I think.
To be honest, love Saka, to be honest. And
Yeah, I feel like he really gets underrated in terms of these like player of the season awards. He always getting nominated for young player of the season, like as if he's not the main guy. And I don't want Arsenal to have him injured for a couple months for us really deep that without this guy, our attack is not the same. We don't carry the same
Trust me,
fear.
bro. It takes one game for me to see. It takes one game for me to see.
So I think if Arsenal win the league, as you're saying, and seeing that Saka is always our highest goal scorer, or one of our highest goal scorers in the league, and has assist players, and just one of our main players, I think he will be our player of the season, or be my player of the season. So yeah, I'll go just to end it. I'd say unsung hero of the season. Who do you think will be that player that is so decisive for us, but maybe might not be in the player of the season shouts, or not be a player that everyone really credits for why we're so good, but will be
either whoever's at left back or David Raya, to be honest, because one thing I like about David Raya is the way he's able to control and dictate the tempo of the game as a goalkeeper, whether that be with his passing, putting his foot on the ball, knowing when to go long, knowing when to play it short to Gabriel and building out from the back. And also too, the way he's able to claim crosses and take the sting out of most games when we're under the cosh is such a big relaxer to that defense. And I think a lot of last season, some of his saves went unnoticed due to the fact we had a stalwart defense in front of him. And no doubt about it, the guys in front of him do deserve massive credit. But I feel like even with them getting their credit, I feel like that it took away a little bit from David Raya's brilliance, because last season I thought David Raya was incredible. Good saves and good moments, quality in claiming his crosses, and his passing was not always on it, but his passing was really, really good. So if it's not David Raya, I think it might be probably Zinchenko was the name I could put out there. If he continues this form he's been on and inverting from left back and producing in chance creation, and he takes those defensive errors out his game and he gets more minutes at left back, could be someone like Zinchenko or Timber, to be honest.
Okay, so what player are you going for?
You
got to give me a name.
Making me decide.
You got to give me a name.
Just because I know he's going to be in the squad most games, I'll go David Raya.
Okay, so Raya. I am going with Urian Timber. I don't necessarily think he'll be an unsung hero, because I think his game is too loud that you can't not sing that guy. But I think in terms of when it comes to because of the competition in the defense, I don't think he's going to start every game. And because of the fact that it's normally attacking players that get more of the shout, especially in your first league title, I think he's going to be one of those guys that people won't realize that his addition, his fitness and availability was a key entity for maybe the points that we won in certain games. Not just because he was the one that got the assist or anything, but just his ability to help us break patterns and stuff and quality. So yeah. So just to recap, Steph. So obviously we've both gone for Arsenal to win the league. You've gone for quarterfinals and the champs. I've gone for semi-finals. You've gone for semi-finals in the FA Cup. I went for the finals. You've gone for finals in the Carabao Cup. I've gone for winners. You've gone for Saka to be our top goal scorer. I've gone for Martinelli. We've both gone for Saka to be our top assist. We've both gone for Saka to be our player of the season. And for our unsung hero for the Arsenal squad, you've gone for Raya, and I've gone for Urian Timber. So that's our predictions for the Arsenal players for this season and Arsenal in general. And just before we go, we'll just quickly touch on the Wolves game. We'll both do our previews on our channel, so I guess we won't really have to go too into the depth. But just what are you looking for anything crazy, or are you first game of the season? Do you just want the 3 points?
Definitely want to get the 3 points, especially knowing the fixtures we have coming up. Villa away straight after that. Then you still have City away and Tottenham away in back-to-back game weeks. So every single point, I'm not gonna lie, we need every single point on the board right now. So 3 points is mandatory in this game, like it always is if you're in the league title push.
Yeah.
But other than that, what I'd want to see is, I guess, continue the free-flowing football. If Zinchenko, for example, is needed in this game, because I know Calafiori just came in, potentially no Timber. Again, I'm not sure about that.
No, I think I think Timbers was training today.
Yeah, I saw him training, but we hear rumors about injuries, and you never really know how Mikel's gonna manage. But if Zinchenko is needed, or if a player like that is needed in the squad, just continuing to show the levels we showed throughout preseason, and showing that we're going to approach this season full steam ahead, and we're challenging for every single thing. Put the marker out there early. I'd like to see goals. I'd like to see clean sheets and 3 points nonetheless.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, man. I think I won't put too much pressure on the performance level. Obviously, I have a certain base standard of how I think we should perform, even if we're rusty or players are missing. I don't think we should also start look like a different team. But I'm not going to expect us to be free flowing and perfect first game of the season. But I do expect our quality to be too much for Wolves. I do think they're a good team, though. I'm not going to disrespect them. I think I've been watching a few of their preseason clips. I've seen some good football, but okay, that's nice. Leverkusen were unbeaten last season, and we made them look like babies. So I don't really care about other teams. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be arrogant, but I'm just going to call it as it is. I think we should get the 3 points. I think we should start the season well. I think we'll score a lot of goals, and you'll see it in my prediction. And I think, yeah, I was just saying, our first 5 games are hard. So get this first game out of the way. Start right. We're playing in front of our home crowd. Get the points on the board, and then we move to the next week. So just for conversation points, who do you start left wing?
Left wing. I think Arteta is going to start Martinelli.
Who do you start left wing?
I'd start Trossard. I'd start Trossard because
I know you'll start Trossard. That's
like I said, and like I've been staying consistent. Trossard is a man that has been bagging goals at the back end of last season. He started preseason. He hasn't put a foot wrong. He should get the start. But I also understand why Arteta likes Martinelli and why he keeps continuing to develop and like to trust Martinelli. And I respect that. Younger, faster, quicker, potentially a higher ceiling.
And he's been playing for Arsenal for longer. So Mikel, he understands the system, the players, the chemistry. But yeah, I think obviously you already know Martinelli's going to start. I think he's going to start, and I think he's going to score.
I think he will start, and I love him to score.
And I'll go over my prediction just before we go. So I think we're going to win the game 4-0. What do you think?
3-0.
So 3-0, 4-0 for me. Same lineup, except from you going Trossard, I'm going Martinelli. Steph, we've come to the end of this video. Guys, I really appreciate, obviously, me and Steph are going to try and make this a weekly thing whenever we can, but we'll try to keep consistent with this podcast. But thank you for listening. Please subscribe to Steph's channel. I'll leave the link in the description below. He's almost at 1K subscribers, so help him get there. Quality channel there. Arsenal fan as well. And obviously, you already know what to do on this channel, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the like down below. Comment down below your predictions for, where you think Arsenal are going to finish, your top goal scorer, and all those type of things, the questions I asked, and just anything you agree or disagree in this video.